If you could improve your performance or the performance of your team by 20 or 25% by stopping and doing something, would you do it? Having a regular reflective process can do that for you. Welcome to Great Transition Strategies Monday Morning Stand-Up. 5 minutes to get your week off to a great start and potentially give you something to make you a more effective leader so you can love what you do. Improving your performance by 20 or 25% just by stopping and reflecting is what some research has shown. Do you have a reflective process? Should you? If you do have one, what is it? Let's talk about the elements of it, when you should have it, and how you should implement it. First, let's talk about when. This particular research study showed that at the end of the day, with only 15 minutes, being detailed about capturing what you need to capture is what made the big difference. Do you have a regular process? 15 minutes daily does not sound like a lot of time if you can capture the details. So that's when. When with some of the details. How? How should you go through this reflective process? For me, and when I work with clients, I think it should be made of 3 elements. The first element is a guiding question. What is the question that is going to guide your reflective process? Next, gaps, identifying the gaps. Number 3, the last one, is lessons learned. How are you going to capture the lessons learned and the action to get there? So let's take an example, and I want you to use a workplace example as I go through mine and see how you could implement this for your team. Today's Monday, go back to Friday. Last Friday, you're at the end of the day. Let's reflect on that day. Number 1, guiding question. I always think the guiding question should be positive. The question that I use is, what worked well? What worked well allows you to focus on the strengths of the team and the good things that you've done. As leaders, many times we want to work on the negatives. We want to fix things. What are the problems? I can fix the problems. Don't worry, you're going to get to that. What worked well? This worked well. Maybe it was communication. We communicated well with our team, and we determined that we did not have the capability to do this one element well. We went out and got the expertise, brought it in, and we made really good progress. What is your guiding question? What would be a good guiding question for you and your team? Next one, gaps. I'd like to identify the gaps closed. How far did we close the gap? What is the progress we made? Again, focusing on the positive. Don't worry, you're going to get to the negative, because when you see how far you traveled, you're going to see how far you still have to go. When you see how far you have to go, you're going to identify, all right, here's the gap. We're not there yet. This is where we need, this is the distance we have yet to travel. Good progress. How do you want to identify your gaps? I like to start with the positive. First one, your question. Now, identify the gaps. Last one, lessons learned and action to put that in place. What did you learn from this evolution? What did we learn? We learned that our team communicated well. We also learned that we do not have this expertise on our team. We need this either to develop it on our team, or we need to have a relationship with another organization and bring that in until we have it on our team. We've captured that. We went through all 3 of them, reflective. It took a short time. It's important that when you do this process, that you capture the details that you need to. If you just stop and think about it and you're not deliberate, you're not going to be as effective. Be deliberate, capture the details, put them all into action. How does this work for you? Can you take these 3 elements and put them in place for you? When makes the most sense for you? Midday, morning, end of the day. What makes the most sense? How are you going to capture the details? So that way you can get the lessons learned and implement them. 20 to 25% improvement in performance just by having a consistent reflective process. Thanks for listening. Hope you found that helpful. See you next Monday morning. Have a great week.